Thoroughbred Week with John Henderson is presented by Actistatin, Adena Springs, Ashford Stud, Bloodstock Research, Central Equipment, Claiborne Farm, Dock Lanes Veterinary Pharmacy, EmpireCityVets.com, Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association, Keeneland, Malone's, New York Thoroughbred Breeding and Development Fund, OCD Pellets, Old Colony Insurance Services, Paul Miller Ford, PBI Bank, Quill and Leather and Tack, Shadwell Farm, Spendthrift Farm, Three Chimneys Farm, and Windstar Farm.
Hello everyone, welcome to Thoroughbred Week, featuring holiday graded stakes action from 6 tracks, including a photo finish in the Grade 1 Gamely Stakes from Santa Anita. We begin with sprinting fillies and mares at Woodbine in the Grade 3 Hendry Stakes. Spring in the Air, the 5-2 favorite, Dan Loisel picks up the call.
3 of them, noses apart at the quarter pole. They ran a half in 45-1. They turned for home in the Hendry. Chantel Sutherland Cruz sets down Purely Hot by head. Spring in the Air, absolutely flying down the center of the racetrack. Here comes Spring in the Air. On the far outside, Mekong Delta's coming hard. Spring in the Air. A fabulous run to win the Hendry.
Last down the backstretch, favored Spring in the Air by Windstar Farm Stallion Spring at Last rallies to defeat 25-1 Mekong Delta by a length. Patrick Husbands aboard the OBS Sales Graduate in 1:16-3. Spring in the Air was honored as the Canadian champion 2-year-old filly of 2012 after she won the Grade 1 Darley Alcibiades Stakes. But the Mark Cassey trainee had managed only one victory since then. The 4-year-old filly was bred in Ontario by Windstar Farm LLC. A $130,000 OBS March 2-year-old, Spring in the Air has earned $883,000 for John Oxley. The future champion was consigned by Eddie Woods to the 2012 OBS March 2-year-old sale. OBS, the 2-year-old source. To Churchill Downs for the Grade 3 Winning Color Stakes. Apropos the 9-5 favorite, Larry Comas picks up the call.
Social Bug blazes the way to the quarter pole, turning for home in the winning colors with a 2-length lead. Ran a half in 44-2, and it's Social Bug trying to hold on to the lead. Southern Honey, Warm Breeze running a good one in between horses into the final furlong. It is Social Bug in front, Southern Honey to the outside. Warm Breeze is third. Here's Southern Honey, Social Bug, Southern Honey, and Julian Leparoux win the winning colors.
Southern Honey by Windstar Farm Stallion Colonel John runs by Social Bug to score by a length and a half. Warm Breeze third for a sweep by Keeneland Sales Graduates. Julian Leparoux, the winning jockey, in 108-3. The third consecutive victory for Southern Honey, who is making her stakes debut off a 5-length allowance win under the Twin Spires. The 3-year-old filly was bred in Kentucky by Whisper Hill Farm. It was a $155,000 Keeneland weanling and a $180,000 Keeneland yearling. Trained by Rusty Arnold, Southern Honey has earned $150,000 for Ashbrook Farm. American Produce Records is now available online. Visit brisnet.com/APR for unlimited access to the pedigrees of more than 3 million thoroughbreds for just $275 a year, now including sire stats. Next, the Grade 3 Lone Star Park Handicap. Grand contender of the 2-5 favorite, John Lees has the call.
Running around the turn. So far, so good for Grand Contender. 2 in front. FJ Uncle Vic, Do No Harm. Call to Serve is now all out. Then Texas Air, and he has Bling. Racing at the quarter pole. It is Grand Contender just twitching his ears in the air. On the outside, Do No Harm tries to come and give him a test. He's coming on with a wide bid. Furlong to go. Here's the test for Grand Contender. It comes from Do No Harm. Then FJ Uncle Vic, and he has Bling. Grand Contender fully up to the task. He's in search of 3 straight stakes wins, 4 for Tom Amoss. He's going to embellish his off-track record with a boisterous win in the 18th Lone Star Park Handicap.
Allowed to set moderate fractions, odds-on favorite Grand Contender rolls to a 4-length victory over Do No Harm, a 1-2 finish by Keeneland Sales Graduates. Richard Aramia up in 143-4. The third consecutive stakes victory for Grand Contender, who was last seen taking the Grade 3 Texas Mile. Formerly trained by Steve Asmussen, Grand Contender has been either first or second in 8 of 10 starts for Tom Amoss. The 6-year-old gelding by Strong Contender was bred in Kentucky by Epona Thoroughbreds. Grand Contender has earned $540,000. Maggie Moss owns the winner. Grand Contender paid $280 to win and is the Malone's favorite of the week, presented by Malone's, Lexington's favorite steakhouse. Watch Thoroughbred Week replays online at tbredweek.com. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with turf racing in this segment. Fillies and mares at Woodbine in the Grade 2 Nassau Stakes. The field included last year's winner Solid Appeal, but the 8-5 favorite was Deceptive Vision. Dan Loisel picks up the call.
As they sweep into the turn, Deceptive Vision inside. AV Sense outside with less than a half mile to go in the Nassau. Wide Catherine gains ground on the outside. Third, Savvy Hester in fourth position. Then we have Sisterly Love in a fifth. In behind horses looking for running room is Solid Appeal. Certsy to the outside. Then Queen's Daughter. Way back there is Northern Passion as they straighten away. AV Sense comes on the outside. AV Sense has taken the lead. Why Catherine is on the outside in second position. Solid Appeal. Deceptive Vision trying to find some more. Savvy Hester was on heels. They're deep in the stretch. Why Catherine comes on along with Solid Appeal. Deceptive Vision's trying to find some more on the inside. Solid Appeal and Why Catherine as they come down to the line. Solid Appeal and Why Catherine. Solid Appeal has won the Nassau.
5-2 second choice. Solid Appeal repeats as winner of the Nassau by half a length over 18-1 Why Catherine. Jesse Campbell aboard the Keeneland Sales Graduate in 133 flat. After taking the 2013 Nassau, Solid Appeal followed with a victory in the Grade 2 Dance Smartly Stakes. But the Reed Baker trainee had been winless in her last 4 starts. The 5-year-old mare by Successful Appeal was bred in Kentucky by Select Bloodstock and was a $100,000 Keeneland November weanling. Solid Appeal has earned $539,000 for Jim and Susan Hill. To Belmont Park for the Grade 2 Sheepshead Bay Stakes. Fitful Skies, the 2-1 favorite. Tom Durkin has the call.
They continue down the backstretch run. It's a fairly tight pack here, only about 6 lengths from front to back, perhaps less than that. The leader remains Repost, and right next to her, glued to her flank, remains Irish Mission, who's been second throughout 3/4 in 117 flat. Fitful Skies has had a good journey so far, just drafting in behind the leaders while saving ground. Abago gets a gentle reminder there from Johnny Velasquez. Abago starting to advance, has to go 3 wide to do it. Caroline Thomas, Modern Stone, still at the back of the pack. Midway round the far turn. Repost trying to hang in there now for 3 more furlongs. Here comes Abago mounting a bid. Abago now makes a move here as they make their way toward the top of the stretch. And then it's Fitful Skies who's down toward the rail. Irish Mission is tailing off. And then it's Modern Stone trying to come through an opening down toward the rail. And Caroline Thomas, they are at the top of the stretch. And it is Repost. Repost full of run past the 8th pole. Abaco is fully extended, still 3 lengths behind, followed by Fitful Skies down toward the rail. And they're coming to the finish. And Repost leads every one of the 11 furlongs.
Repost takes the field gate to wire to defeat Abaco by a length and 3/4. The winner under a high weight of 120 pounds and Joel Rosario in 2:18-4. A Group 2 stakes winner in Ascot 11 months ago, Repost gets her first U.S. stakes victory. After placing in graded stakes at Gulfstream Park and Tampa Bay Downs in her first 2 starts this year, the Belmont trainee ran second by only a neck in a turf allowance at Keeneland. The 4-year-old filly was bred in Great Britain by her owner, Juddmont Farms. Repost has earned $342,000. Time for 3-year-old stakes action presented by BC2A Paste. Reduce the likelihood of tying up with BC2A Paste. 3-year-old turf horses in the Grade 3 Arlington Classic. A Fortable, the 9-5 favorite, against 7 rivals, including the filly Iston Ford. John G. Dooley has the call.
A half mile for the filly is Stanford. 49 1/5 seconds. They go to the far side of the course. is Stanford still. Is Stanford from Solitary Ranger around the far turn. Long on Value right there in touch and improving for Brian Hernandez Jr. Chief Barker with the rail. Rank has privileges. Affordable's picking it up. Tiger Bourbon, Rise the Man getting his Q2, and now they're at the top of the stretch. 3/4 for the longtime leader. Is Stanford was 114 flat. Long on Value comes charging after Is Stanford in the final furlong. Solitary Ranger with no late kick. They're coming down to the final half furlong. Is Stanford is still finding. Is Stanford all the way in the Arlington Classic.
The filly beats the males as Florida-bred Stanford takes the field gate to wire to defeat Long on Value by a length. James Graham aboard the OBS Sales Graduate in 1:43 3. Runner-up in both the Grade 3 Florida Oaks and the Edgewood Stakes at Churchill Downs, Stanford records her first stakes victory. The Mike Stidham trainee is the first filly to win the Arlington Classic since it was moved to the turf in 1994. A $25,000 OBS August yearling, Stanford has earned $207,000 for Ike and Don Thrash and Janet and Sam Alley. The filly by Istan was bred in Florida by Hardacre Farm LLC. Florida breds, race him or chase him. Thoroughbred Week is presented by Spendthrift Farms Breed Secure program. It's not too late to breed risk-free in 2014 with Spendthrift's Breed Secure. Call Spendthrift today for details. Welcome back to Thoroughbred Week with the Grade 2 Charles Whittingham Stakes coming up in this segment. We begin with Turf Milers at Belmont Park in the Grade 3 Poker Stakes. Za Approval, the 4-5 favorite. John Embrial has the call.
Peace and Justice with a 5-length lead now. Plainview remains in second. Za Approval is third as they go around the turn. It's Peace and Justice on top. The lead is 4 lengths. Plainview in second. Za Approval is third. Now about 5 lengths from Peace and Justice. Peace and Justice. The lead's down at 2.5 lengths. Then it's Plainview. Za Approval on the outside, followed by Big Screen. Then Jack Milton and Sinatra, the half in 45 2. They have caught and they have passed. Peace and Justice. Here's a Plainview on the outside. Jack Milton is putting in a big run. Jack Milton from last to first to take over the lead. Jack Milton in front. Then Big Screen, Za Approval, and Plainview. It's Jack Milton from well off the pace to win the poker.
5-2 second choice, Jack Milton by Claiborne Farm Stag and Warfront. The last to first winner by 2 3/4 lengths over Big Screen. A 1-2 finish by Keeneland Sales Graduates. Javier Castellano up in 133 flat, a 103 brisk speed rating. Winner of the Grade 3 Transylvania Stakes at 3, the Todd Pletcher trainee opened his current campaign with an easy allowance win at Churchill Downs. The 4-year-old colt was bred in Kentucky by Cherry Valley Farm. It was a $100,000 Keeneland September yearling from the Claiborne Farm consignment. Jack Milton has earned nearly $506,000 for Gary Barber. The third stakes victory on the card for Pletcher, who surpasses his mentor, D. Wayne Lucas, as the all-time leading money-winning thoroughbred trainer. Jack Milton was consigned by Eddie Woods to the 2012 OBS March 2-year-old sale. OBS, the 2-year-old source. To Churchill Downs for the Grade 3 Louisville Handicap. War Dancer, the 9-10 favorite. Larry Comas picks up the call.
The 3 of them are lined up in the run up the backstretch. Tatnam on the inside, War Dancer between, and Star Channel to the outside. And then it's Formidable Heart and Morrow Tap along the hedge, racing a length and a half off the lead, followed by Perfect Timber and Sun Tracer, and Forte de Marmy still trails. Around the far turn, Tatnam, War Dancer, and these two are nose to nose on the lead. Outside of them, it's Star Channel. Morrow Tap has saved every inch of ground and is right in behind the leaders. Sun Tracer swings out 4 wide. They're into the stretch. War Dancer, Sun Tracer on the outside runs on. These two emerge from the pack. 1-2. Morrow Tap takes third. Sun Tracer trying to upset War Dancer. Sun Tracer's got a head in front. War Dancer fights on second. These two will decide it. Sun Tracer and War Dancer, their noses apart as they come down to the wire, and it's a head-bobbing finish. Maybe War Dancer
Odds-on favorite War Dancer by Claiborne Farm Stallion Warfront gets up to take the photo by a head over Sun Tracer. Alan Garcia aboard the Keeneland Sales Graduate in 2:28-1. War Dancer records his first victory since taking the Grade 2 Virginia Derby last summer. The Kenny McPeak trainee was last seen finishing second in the Grade 2 Elkhorn Stakes. The 4-year-old colt was bred in Kentucky by Cherry Valley Farm and Stuart S. Jenny III, and originally sold for $25,000 from the Claiborne Farm consignment at the Keeneland November sale. A $220,000 Saratoga yearling, War Dancer has earned nearly $542,000 for Diamond M Stable. Alan Garcia with the Safe Ride of the Week, presented by Sally Horse Fans, the safest way to the winner's circle. To Santa Anita for the Grade 2 Charles Whittingham Stakes. Quick Casablanca, the 8-5 favorite, Trevor Denman has the call.
They head into the far turn, and Bright Thought is the leader. Up alongside comes Segway, Dr. Fett, African Oil between them. Jolito is on the far side. And let's see, Quick Casablanca now. He's not going to go round them. Quick Casablanca is going to try to pick his way through horses as 8 off the lead. They're at the top of the lane, and Segway kicks for home. Segway's got first run. And it's Segway and Gary Stevens set sail for home. Quick Casablanca's now let loose down the centre of the track. And here comes Quick Casablanca. Fire with Fire is in there too. Segway's holding on. Fire with Fire. Quick Casablanca on the grandstand side. Segway, Fire with Fire. Fire with Fire to win it. Fire with Fire, an absolute thriller up to win the Charles Whittingham.
7-1 Fire with Fire by Windstar Farm Stallion Distorted Humor changes tactics to score by a neck over Segway. Tyler Bays aboard the 2-time Keeneland Sales Graduate in 2 minutes and 4/5. The third stakes victory in 4 starts this year for Fire with Fire, who was beaten a neck by Quick Casablanca while attempting to wire the field in the Grade 3 Last Tycoon Stakes last month. The 6-year-old gelding was bred in Kentucky by Patricia Pavlich and was a $290,000 Keeneland September yearling. A record 7th winner of the race for Whittingham's former assistant Neil Drysdale, tying him with the race's namesake. Fire with Fire has earned $655,000. David Hirensberger is the winning owner. The racing prospect was consigned by Windstar Racing to the 2011 Keeneland November sale, where he was purchased by Lolly Wakeland Bloodstock for $140,000. Grade 2 Charles Whittingham Stakes winner Fire with Fire, the Keeneland Sales Graduate of the Week. Coming up, a photo finish in the Gamely. Time now for the feature race of the week, presented by Keeneland, investing in racing's future since 1936. To Santa Anita for the Grade 1 Gamely Stakes. Paranda, the 2-1 favorite. Here's the call by Trevor Denman.
They run to the half-mile pole. Rigori along the inside gets pressure from Emollient. Those two lead it just over a length. Change the channel right there in third, and Miss Serendipity, Gold Cap in the 4th spot. They followed by Premier Steps, 4.5 off the leaders. Paranda in the orange. Emotional Kitten is down at the rail. Then Stormy Lucy and Customer Base. They turning the pressure on now as they go into the turn. Emollient now goes looking for the lead. Rigori on the inside. Emollient, Rigori turn for home together. Miss Serendipity third. Paranda chasing after them from 4th. They're at the top of the lane, and Emollient now strikes the front. Emollient goes for home. Miss Serendipity, a big danger on the outside. Emollient, Miss Serendipity, Paranda just not doing enough. Emollient on the inside. Miss Serendipity right up alongside. Emollient's all hard, finds more. Miss Serendipity right there. It's a thriller. They hit the wire. It looked like Miss Serendipity, but it's close.
And let's take another look at that photo finish. It's 3-1 second choice Emollient with the lead under Rosie Napravnik. But 13-1 long shot Miss Serendipity and Brice Blanc are closing rapidly. Both runners totaling 121 pounds. And Miss Serendipity gets up to take the photo by a nose. The latest South American import for Hall of Fame trainer Ron McAnally, Miss Serendipity clocked in 146-1. A 2-time Group 1 stakes winner in her homeland, the Argentine-bred 6-year-old mare by Not For Sale gets her first U.S. stakes victory. She just missed in her latest, finishing second by a neck to Stormy Lucy and the Grade 3 Santa Barbara handicap. Racing for her breeder Anselmo Cavallari, Miss Serendipity has earned $373,000. We'll see you next week here on Thoroughbred Week.
Thoroughbred Week is produced by John Henderson in association with Scott Ryan, Lexington, Kentucky.